guys on the chat, say something so I can shout you out. Thank you, Diego. Hi, Diego. What's up? You guys, I pinned a message. I need you guys to answer it if you can. I want us to have a conversation. Where am I from? I'm from Nigeria. Where are you from? Hello. Please subscribe to the channel, guys, and double tap. Hit the like button if you're here, and let's start off the conversation. Oh, hi, Amit from India. Hey guys. Winnie, you said is it to the question? I asked the question, I pinned the question. I said, do you, oh, Freezy, thank God you're here. What's up? So I asked the question, I asked the question in the comments, and it's pinned. Are you guys seeing it? I asked, do you guys think people pleasing can actually be manipulation? And what's the line between somebody that is a people pleaser and someone that is a manipulator? And how does this all connect? Yes, Jesus is Lord and Savior. Hi, you're beautiful for me. Thank you. It's been good. It's been great. It's been okay. I realized life, if you're on here and you're a young person, a successful life, a life that is good, a good life, a life that is what living is, a life that is boring, that has routine. If you're somebody that you have an issue now with routine, everything has to be spontaneous, everything has to be, every new day has to be something new, something exciting, you probably wouldn't like fit in well with people, and you won't feel fulfilled. You would never be satisfied. You have to be okay. And I'm learning that. I'm telling you guys this because I'm like on a journey where I'm learning myself, learning new things, and I have realized this as the truth. For you to actually be content with life, for you to actually get to a place in life where you are happy, you have to be okay with boredom. If you're somebody that's like, oh, I'm bored, let me look for what to do, no. You have to learn to sit in boredom, enjoy boredom, find the joy in the silence, find the joy in the quietness, in the, nothing is happening, nothing exciting is happening. When you start finding joy in those things, you will find out that you're much more happier. Now, I asked a question in the comment. I said, can, but I feel spontaneity brings creativity. Yes, that's why I said you have to be able to create a balance between being spontaneous and actually being okay with the routine. It's in your routine, it's in your boredom that then you get moments where you're like, okay, I want to be spontaneous today, I want to do something. But if every day of your life you are just like a spontaneous person, you're not really stable, you're not really okay with, like I said, you're not okay with the silence, you always, you want something new every day, you want something exciting. If it doesn't excite you, you're not happy, you're not fulfilled, then there's a problem with that. You need to work on it. You need to work on it as much as you can. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, all those people that identify, they tell you things like, I'm a people pleaser, my life is ruined because I always want to please people. They're always the ones that come on like YouTube or TikTok or all these long form video apps, and they're always ranting or saying story times of how they've always given themselves to people, they've given their time, their energy to people, and people never reciprocate it. Everybody in their life is always hurting them. They try to please people, they try to do everything for people, and people is always hurting them. So they're always in a cycle where they are constantly getting hurt, and they're overly emotional about it. They're sad, they're depressed. Most of them even commit suicide. They have anxiety about this because they realize they are chronic people pleasers. They don't know how to say no to people, they don't know how to establish boundaries, they don't know how to they just don't know how to be adults. They don't know how to live autonomously. They always have to put everybody else in consideration. If I do this, how will this person feel? If I post this, how will my neighbor feel when they see it? If I post this picture of me, how will my dad, how will my mom receive it? They don't have any sense of self anymore. They are living their life to please other people. They are the people pleasers. But I'm trying to bring up a new conversation for us today to think, do you guys think people pleasers could actually be manipulators? Or do you think they are innocent? They are the angels? I'm waiting for somebody to ask. I said, can people pleasing be manipulation? So the fact that you are a people pleaser and you tell yourself every day that you're a people pleaser, you have an issue with telling people no, you have an issue with just being autonomous, you have an issue with doing your own thing without always people putting other people into consideration. You cannot do one thing, you can't post a picture, you can't take a job, you can't move out of your home, even if you really really are dying to move out. You want to leave this place, but you put every other person into consideration, and then people end up not putting you into consideration when they want to put their things, and you are sad of that. So you call yourself a people pleaser, but could you also be a manipulator? What is the line between people pleasing and manipulation? You guys getting now? Thank you, Lotto. Do you guys get it now? Could people pleasing actually be a form of manipulation? Could it be? Could it be that you've been living your whole life feeling like you're a victim in everybody's story, and everybody's always thinking of themselves, and you think of every other person else, and you are depressed over this, and this is ruining your life because you can't just do things, you can't hurt people, you tell yourself you can't hurt people, you want to please people. If you post a picture, you put into consideration what your followers will think, you put into consideration what your neighbor will think, your friend. Maybe you see a cute little meme you can relate to, but you start thinking to yourself, when I post this, what would this person say? How would they receive it? Would they like it? Would they not like it? You find yourself in that cycle where you constantly cannot do your own thing. You constantly do not have any autonomy to yourself. It's almost like there are voices in your head that has conditioned you to always seek their permission, or seek these imaginary people's permission before you do anything, and you're stuck. You want to do things, you want to live a certain type of life, but there are voices in your head that tells you that, oh, when you do this, how would this person feel? How would this person relate to you after you do this? What would people say? And most times when people are always talking in the what would people say, it's always people that they know personally. So you talk to yourself, what would this person say, what would this person say, what would my teacher say, what would my parents say, and you find out that you lack individuality because you've wasted the years of your life thinking of other people. And then you tell yourself that you are a victim. What if you are a manipulator but you're a failed one? Personally, I think anybody that manipulates people in this day and age, most times, anybody that you know that is a master manipulator in this day and age is often a retired people pleaser. You might not agree with me, but I've done my study on this, and I have done my research on this, and I've realized that you are someone who trusts your feelings more than reality. Because when you tell yourself that if I post this, let's say you put yourself out there as, for example, like this now, let's say you put yourself out there as a guy or as a girl that is influential, like you have money, you can afford a lot of things, but you are not really that, or maybe you are that, but things go up and down for you, which is life, right? What if, as you're living this life, like that's your life, you're living this life where you already let people know that you're rich but you're not, and then tomorrow you want to post something that doesn't show the richness of you, and then you start thinking, oh, what will this person say when I post this? What will this person say if they already see me as this type of person? What would they say if I do something different that doesn't back up my claim that I'm this person? What if that is some form of manipulation? Because let's Google it. What's manipulation? So that everything we say, we use facts and not feelings. Okay, so guys, what is manipulation? We're not going to use AI. We're going to use good old Google. What is manipulation? I just hope that this life, there is somebody out there that is stuck in this cycle. You're stuck in the cycle of you're not living, and if I could, get one person out of that situation, my mission will be accomplished with this life. So manipulation is the exercise of indirect, deceptive, or underhanded control over someone to serve the manipulator's interests at the victim's expense. Let me repeat this. Manipulation is the exercise of indirect, deceptive, or underhanded control over someone to serve the manipulator's interests at the victim's expense. So what that is basically saying is, it could not even be direct. Manipulation is not direct. Somebody that wants to, if you're a manipulative person, for you to be able to be a manipulative person, you probably not be doing it on purpose. But the whole point of your manipulation, there are people, yes, I know that there are people that manipulate people on purpose. I know that. But in this case, where we're trying to decipher if a people pleaser is a manipulator or not, somebody that is a people pleaser that is manipulating people, I'm sure they don't know this, and I'm sure they are not aware of this. But it's an exercise of indirect, deceptive, or underhanded control. When we put it in the example I gave earlier, is that you created something, or you think everything is what you think. You actually do not know what your followers think. The people on this live, I can tell myself now that every single person that is watching me, every 6, 7, 10 of you that are watching this video right now, that you guys could be thinking I'm beautiful. That's my thought. I could be thinking, you guys could be thinking I'm really beautiful. You guys could be thinking I'm really smart. You guys could be thinking, but that's my thoughts. That could not be what you're thinking. Do you understand what I'm saying? That might not be what you're thinking. As much as it's possible, maybe I came on here looking all dolled up and looking all cute. Doesn't mean that you're going to think I'm cute. Because nobody on this earth knows what the other person is thinking. You can only guess. You can only guess what the next person is thinking. You can only try your best to project something into people's mind by me coming on here, getting all dolled up, coming on here, staying in a place where there is good lighting and all that, just to project to you guys that I'm beautiful. But if somebody at the end of that screen doesn't actually think I'm beautiful, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I've done my best to project this to you. If that's not what you think, that's okay. You have to, as an adult, to carry this mindset all your life. Please be very okay with not being right 1000% of the time. Be very okay with trying to please people, but not expecting them to be pleased. For me, I believe a people pleaser is a manipulator, because it's a manipulative act for you to maybe help someone and be kind to people, and sudden and you just feel like, because I am like this, you have to be this way, you have to treat me this way because I have done this to you. That's where manipulation is, because your victim now, the person you're trying to manipulate, might not want that. Some people don't want to, some people actually don't want to be pleased. Like, you're the kind of person that whenever you go outside, you see a bunch of ladies, you're opening doors for them. It is okay. Let me tell you, I'm sure 80% of women want their doors to be open for them. But let me tell you something, there is a hard 20% that do not want anybody to open the door for them. Maybe it is their trauma, maybe there is where they grew up. Something, there are people that actually do not want to be pitied. There are people that actually do not need your help. They feel like when you help them, or when you're helpful, and I'm not supporting those, I'm not saying they're good, I'm just telling you that if you are a chronic people pleaser, you could be manipulating people and you don't know, and you are hurting yourself. There are people that do not want to be helped. I'm telling you, there are people that do not want you to offer them anything. You know, there are people that don't even want your motivation. Haven't you gone to comment sections when somebody is going to be giving a positive motivation to people, and some people will be like, I beg, I want cruise, I want to laugh, I don't need you to tell me everything is going to be okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you, a people pleaser, at the other hand, you have created this whole personality for yourself where you just want to please people based off of what you think would please people. You think when you go out there and you open the door for 1 million girls a day, that people are going to see that you're a nice person. I'm saying all this to say that instead of you to do that, why don't you address that part of you that wants to be chosen? What is happening to you is that there is a part of you that wants to be chosen. There is a part of you that is dying to be liked. There is a part of you that doesn't want to feel rejected, and that's why you act the way you are. You're not a bad person, but you're not a good person either. It's so it sounds cliche, it sounds like, oh, it's a mean thing to say, but that's the truth. Just because you do good things for people doesn't mean that you're entirely a good person. The worst is for you to do those good things for people and be expecting some sort of reward. The reward you're expecting could be in the form of, you expect them to always be nice to you all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. All these people that you do all these stuff for, they should be nice to you. Why? Because I'm a great person. I opened the freaking car door for you. You should love me. You should like me. You're not hearing it, but that's what you're doing. It's like there's a voice always saying, like me, love me. I opened the door for you. No. Let me tell you, if you're outside, I don't care. I'm not telling you to be mean, but let me tell you something, how to live your life. If you're outside and you enter a train, and let's say somebody that you feel like is you're pitying this person, let me get up, let this person sit down. Please, anytime you want to do that, be aware. Am I doing this because I want to do it? A real empath is going to stand up for somebody to sit down, not because of they care about what the person is going to project after they do that. No, they are doing this 100% because they cannot be comfortable. There are actual people that will not be comfortable. They will not be able to enjoy the entire ride. Their nervous system will not be calm if they do not help the next person. That is you being an empath. That is your true personality. Now you're not doing it for that other person to like you, for that other person to say thank you, for that other person to treat you differently. You are doing it 100% because you would not be able to stand. That's a gift you have. You will not be able to stand where somebody is hurting. You will not be able to stand it where somebody is going through something else. But anytime you find yourself that you are doing something good for people consistently so that you will be liked, or so that you would project this an idea of them to you that they might not agree with, you are being manipulative. You are a people pleaser that is being manipulative. You could be doing this at work. You think, oh my gosh, this work, they don't appreciate me at work. My boss and my colleagues, they don't appreciate me. Whenever I come to work, I bring, maybe you bring breakfast, or I don't know, whatever it is that you think you do for people, and then you get upset and you get so mad and sad because these people you do this for do not react the same way to you, or do not, you know, treat you a certain way because of that thing you do. You are wrong, and you should stop it, and you should actually seek help, because what you are doing is, there is a deep hole in your heart where you want to be liked, you want to be accepted, you want to be loved, and you are now doing all these things that nobody asked you to do, to force that reaction out of people. And that's not how to go about life, because what's going to happen if you keep programming yourself in this way, that you keep getting disappointed upon disappointed upon disappointed upon disappointed. You're going to get so disappointed so much that one day you're going to give up. You're on the wrong mission here. Before you do anything for people, before you even speak to people, before you say hello to people, pause and ask yourself, do I want to do this, or am I doing this to get this from this person? Am I doing this for this person so this person will like me? Am I doing this for this person so the person would love me? Am I doing this for this person so that they will see me as I'm a great friend, I'm a great sister? Listen, you already are. Everything you already are. So you are so much that when you do something for people, you are just taking out of what. Okay, sorry. It's now that I'm even seeing questions. You guys have been typing questions. I wasn't seeing it because of the network. So Fizzy says, okay, so I'm using PP as people pleasing. So people pleasing manipulates you, or the person you're trying to please. It manipulates the person you are trying to please. That person you are dying to please. You're breaking your back to please this person. You are manipulating that person. It happens to in relationships, and it happens to girls a lot. A lot of girls enter relationships with guys, especially in this modern day age. I've realized it. A lot of girls enter relationships with guys, and they sort of think that there is something they are going to do that will not automatically force somebody to treat them a certain way, or there's something they are going to say, or there's something they're going to do, or there's something they're going to wear, or there's a way they're going to work, or there's a way they're going to, do whatever it is to provoke a person to treat them a certain way. That is the first step to manipulation. Whenever you think there is something you are going to do to force somebody else to do something else for you, make sure that everything you do is out of who you are. Now monitor the person. If the person you're interacting with, if the person you're doing this thing for is not returning the energy, or is not appreciative, or you dip, that's how you live life. You don't stay where people are maltreating you, treating you the worst way possible, and you are expecting consistently high is, and you're expecting them to treat you differently or become what they are not to please you. You might think you're such a darling, you're such an angel, but you are a manipulator. And that thing you're doing is the first step to being a manipulator. If you're a good person, you might not take it extreme, but if you're a bad person, this is how people like you hear that somebody unalight somebody else, or it's this constant obsession with trying to dictate how people treat you. That is what gets people into depression these days most times. That's what makes people anxious. You should show up as you are, in your full state, in your full true identity, and then watch people the way they receive you. If they receive you good, wow, they're my people. If they treat you good, wow, these people like me. Oh, genuine love, wow, this is where I'm meant to be. Now if they treat you bad, or if they act, negatively towards you, you leave. Don't sit and overthink it and think, oh my god, are they not seeing what I'm doing? I've tried. Or whenever I hear people say things like, I gave this person 10 years of my life, you cannot give somebody 10 years of your life. You by yourself submitted 10 years of your life with somebody. Because one thing about people, people will show you who they are. If you try to lie to yourself, um, lie to yourself, think yourself out of the obvious, that's on you and it's not on them. I'm not preaching this for you to be a mean person, but if your true nature is being mean, there are people that are naturally nice. If you're not a nice person, don't force yourself to be nice so that another person will like you. Make sure that your niceness or your kindness is who you are. If you don't feel like doing it, if you're not even about feeling, if you're not this person, it's like entering a relationship and you don't, even when you're by yourself, when you were single, you don't. Okay, so entering a relationship and you don't cook for yourself, but somehow, so you're not a cook, you don't like being cooking for people, you don't even like eating the food you cook, and then you enter into a relationship with a guy that you just met, and you automatically start cooking for this guy in the hopes that this guy will treat you a certain way, or love you differently, or pick you or choose you. If eventually that relationship ends, it will be very selfish of you to tell this person after everything is sacrificed for you. Who asked you? I want somebody to debate this with me, or to tell me, oh, they don't think differently, or present their facts. Some of them want to use you, and some of them want to be used by you. I just feel like the way people treat you is who they are. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to. Let me tell you something. Even in relationships, somebody that is mean to you or being unkind to you in relationships, somebody, if I'm not a kind person, if I don't love you, let me use myself as an example. If I don't love you, I'm in a relationship with you, I am not going to treat you horribly. Me of today, healed Michelle of today, I'm not going to treat you differently, or treat you horribly, or be mean to you, or yell at you, or treat you bad because I don't love you. No, every treatment I'm going to treat you is from who I am, and because of who I am, I won't even be with somebody that I don't love in the first place. I'm going to let you know from the jump, but that's not going to be a guarantee for me to treat you bad. So anybody you're in a relationship with that treats you bad, and you tell yourself, oh, it's because they don't love you, it's not just because they don't love you. This is who they are. You should ask yourself, do you want to be with this kind of person? Because people often do not shed their skin. People are always going to show who they are. Maybe not in the first year, or in the second year, in the third year. And there are different reasons why people are who they are. It's not your mission and it's not your goal to change people, especially in this time and age where there is YouTube. There is a lot. We're living in a time where people have a lot access to things. If you want to grow, if you want to heal in this time and age, you have a lot of access to information. There is nothing you want to learn, free or paid, or you have access to a lot of information. So anybody that is still bad, or anybody that is still mean, or anybody that is still unkind, they are that way because they want to be that way. Why are you making it your mission to please them out of who they are? People can only be who they are. They cannot stop being themselves to please you. So if you are not being yourself to please other people, don't put it on them. It's on you. Yes, I get you, but different people have different love language. You have to someone to me. You're not understand what I'm saying. meet someone who matches your love language. I'm talking about love language. I'm talking about the fact that love language or no love language, if you're with somebody that you don't love, because you're with that person and you don't love with that person, shouldn't be a guarantee for you to treat that person right or wrong. You treating somebody else, whether you love the person or whether you're sleeping with the person or whether this person is even your brother or sister, whether you just met the person on the road, is based off of who you are. So what a lot of people need to actually do is to sit down with themselves, get a paper and pen and ask themselves, who am I? What are my values? Ask yourself scenario questions. If I'm driving by the road and someone has got an accident, am I the kind of person that will stop? Or am I the person that will keep driving? Who am I? Who am I? What are my values? What do I like? Am I somebody that will, if I was to marry somebody tomorrow that will not be able, maybe they had an accident, they will not be able to sleep. For example, someone to use you, someone to be used by, someone to use can't be used, someone to be used by. Why do you want to use people? And why do you want people to use you? That's the problem. Why can't we all just be ourselves? Why is there these games where I want to use this person? You see somebody and automatically thinking, if I'm in this person's relation, this person is going to help me too. Why do we think that way? Why can't we all just be ourselves? Anyways, being too emotional is not even the real issue, right? Because being too emotional means you feel deeply. If you feel something deeply, you now say, oh, you're too emotional. But it's not everything you feel that you should believe. Because when you feel something too deeply and you believe it immediately, that means you're going to react to it. So that means if you're a man or if you're a woman and your partner is not giving you the same attention they were giving you in the beginning or at the middle of a relationship, you immediately start, your brain has to make sense of it. So your brain is going to make up stories. Your brain is going to say, oh, this person is stepping out on me, this person is doing this to me. Your brain is going to definitely, one thing about your brain is going to make sense of things. If things are not adding up, your brain is going to try to make sense of it. Is somebody that is self-aware that actually stops yourself and say, okay, I shouldn't think this except I have facts. Move your life with facts. And if you're a lady on here, that's what differentiates us with guys. I think guys are naturally like that. Like you can tell a guy a sub story about how something happened to someone like that is so horrible. You notice that the first thing that they are going to ask you is something absurd, like, are you sure of this? Have you asked? And you as a woman, because we're too emotional, we're too, we feel everything too deeply, we're too emotional, we kind of like see it as the guy is wrong, or we see it like, what do you mean? But actually, as a human being, you should be able to fact check everything. Run everything by. Stop acting based on emotions. Stop treating people based on how you feel and start treating them based on who they are and who you are. Stop treating people how you feel about them and start treating them based on who they are and who you are. The way you should relate to people should be 100% based on who they are and who you are. You should be able to give people benefits of the doubt. Just like you give yourself a million benefits of the doubt a day, you should be able to give people benefits of the doubt. If your wife goes out and she doesn't call you the entire day, don't immediately start thinking, oh, they're with somebody else. And your brain starts it, obviously, and then you run with it and you think about it and you start reacting to it. Before you know it, you're just acting up this story that is not the other person's reality. So that means you're dictating their reality for them, and that always ends up so horribly, ends up so bad. Before you know it, you become somebody that you think in your mind that you are a good person, but every other person would not agree to it. So you're in your own prison and you don't know what you're doing wrong. You don't know why people are avoiding you. You don't know why you don't have friends. You don't know why your relationships don't last. You don't know why people get away from you. You don't know why people see you as important. You cry a lot. You cry a lot, and you just find yourself being too reactive. It's because you're pleasing people into them treating you a certain way, or you're not treating people based on who they are or who you are. You're just projecting. You're just living life based on doing. Let me cook so that tomorrow let this person cook for me. Let me do this so that tomorrow let this person do it for me. But that's not how life works. In fact, one of the fastest things people forget one of the fastest things people forget about you is the good things you do for them. Those good things that you're doing for people is the fastest thing that they will forget about you. People always don't. It's just, I don't know. It's just life. Because if you think people always do it, if you think, oh, you've done it to somebody else one way or the other, it's just human. Be humans, we're a bit selfish somehow. So if you're constantly doing and doing and doing and doing, expecting something else from somebody, for me, it's a form of manipulation. How about you do things because that's who you are? I can see my enemy dying. I would give my enemy the last money in my pocket. Not because of I want the enemy to see me like I'm a kind person, but because I am a kind person. I'm somebody that cannot stand when my fellow human being is starving, enemy or not. That's an example. And I hope this thing I say now you understand it better. Okay, so now let's touch on the next thing I wanted to say about this topic. I want to talk about how the topic is, is people pleasing manipulation? Do you guys think people pleasing is a form of manipulation or no? You know what people pleasing is? People pleasing, constantly trying to please people. You're the kind of person that if somebody tells you give me this, you say yes, even though you don't want to give it out. You're that person, you constantly do it a lot. Is that a form of manipulation? Because for me, I think it's a form of manipulation. I'm engaging with this chat. It's just that I'm not seeing the chat on time. Network is having issues. Like when YouTube logs me off and logs me back in, I will now see chats, but I was not even seeing them. I was not seeing them when I'm on here. When I'm talking here, I'm not seeing anything. But after a while, like when I log off and log back in, I'll start seeing chats. So you guys should not conclude based on that. Just I'll see. I'll like now. I just saw your message. Maybe even dropped it earlier and I didn't see on time. What do you think? Freezy, please repeat your question because I logged out and logged back in. Okay, you said if people pleasing is a type of manipulatory, then it's gonna affect people pleasers, but they don't know. I think people that are people pleasers, they don't know. They don't actually know. That's why I'm here. They don't actually know that it's a form of manipulation. That's why I'm here. Because you can be trying to please people so hard, and those people are not are thinking you're trying to manipulate them. I give you guys an example. You see, some people are so easy to see a disabled person on the road, and they want to help the disabled person walk, or you see somebody on the road that doesn't have leg, and like you want to carry the person because you're trying to make their life so much easier, right? They're actually disabled people that do not want to be helped. They're disabled people that do not want to be pitied. They don't want you to see them as somebody you could help. Some people are actually offended by that. This is an example. But somehow you make up stories in your head that if you treat people this way, if you do this for these people, they're going to do this for you. Crazy. Are you here? You guys, YouTube keeps sticking me out and logging me back in. I don't know if it's this my phone. I don't know why YouTube keeps taking me back. These people should tell so that I will come back. There's nobody on the live now. Man. Okay. So let me read this for you guys. Looking back, this is what I wrote for myself. So let me read it. I said, looking back, the signs were there. I was always hurt, but not always right. I understood this. So what happens is, you react because being a people pleaser for so long causes you to be a reactor. You're just somebody that is easy to set off because you feel like you've done so much for people and people take it for granted. So the flip side is for you now to just don't take nonsense. Like some people like, I don't play that, I don't take this from those people that act that way, that like easily overreact. They are mostly retired people pleasers that are now hurt, and they find out that they like hurt other people. So you guys, I'm going to read the article that I put together about this for you guys so that you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, you try to control how others see you. You use emotion to pull people back in or avoid losing them. So it looks like I just care so much, but underneath, I'm trying to make sure you don't leave me or see me negatively. Real control is pausing before reaction. So for you, okay, wait, let's start afresh. You are not an empath or too emotional. You are someone who learned to center your feelings as the main authority, sometimes at the expense of reality, accountability, and other people's experiences. At the core, this isn't about being emotional, it's about control, fear, and interpretation. The humility in understanding the truth of our emotion is more painful than regret, and I feel that's why people pleasers are stuck in that loop. Yes, but you just have to address it. I feel like it's like learning how to drive. The minute you master it, something clicks in your life. But just living in denial and continue living that way and just hoping that one day somebody is going to pick you, it's going to wreck your life. It's going to cause you to make a lot of mistakes. It's going to cause you to lose a lot of friendship. It's going to cause you to lose a lot of relationships in your life. So it doesn't make sense for you to just stay in the cycle because you are scared, or you are afraid, or you don't want to confront the truth of why you actually feel the way you feel. Confront it, get it done already. Okay, so Let's continue. Being too emotion, being too emotional is feeling things strongly and sometimes reacting before thinking, but still being um manipulation is using your emotions intentionally or unconsciously to influence outcomes, right? Control narrative or shift responsibility. The line is emotion is this is how I feel. Manipulation is because I feel this way. Reality must bend to it, right? How this pattern can affect you is it turns every issue into an emotional storm, makes the other person or whoever it is you're engaging with feel like they are always on trial, forces them to forces them to constantly manage your own feelings. What's going to happen is you become exhausting because there is no stable ground with you. Everything is reactive. Resolution doesn't stick. The recycle continues. Apologies come because one thing about people is that they're going to apologize, but people don't take your apology just because you apologize. If you're not changing, if it's nothing is changing, the apology is not going to stick, right? You are, the thing is that people are going to be attracted to you because you have depth, you have awareness, you have the emotional capacity. But you by yourself, you're going to drain them. So that's your own way of self-sabotaging. You will drain them because loving you will now start feeling like a job. It's not physically, people cannot be themselves around you because there is a constant burden on them to feel devoid of your emotions. There is a constant burden on them to make you feel okay, to affirm you. You know, you put a burden on them to to help you um, feel good or to help you have some form of identity, which is something you should even work on your own before you join yourself with anybody in the first place. Now, let's talk about the trauma that can actually be the reason why this is happening to you. It could be growing up. Common roots for this is growing up, your emotions were ignored, your emotions were dismissed. You were the child that was ignored. Maybe you're a child that your parents gave attention to all of your children and they didn't really pay attention to you. Nobody cared about what's going on with you. Nobody, you did not have some like a parent figure, an adult figure in your life that validated your feelings as a child, or that gave you a lot of attention, or that actually was interested. There's how parents are kids know when a parent is interested and when a parent could care less. So growing up, your feelings were ignored, dismissed, or unstable. Then learning that intensity gets attention. So you're the kind of friend, you're the child that, because you were ignored, you had to, like, you see children that throw tantrums, like when they're not given what they want, they'll fall on the floor, they'll roll on the ground, they'll do that because that is what they've done in the past to actually get attention, and it worked for them. Have you heard about dependent personality traits? I haven't. So there's a personality trait that is dependence. Please educate me on that because I haven't heard of dependent personality traits. Was that there are people, a personality trait of you depending on other people, like that's your personality, or like, please help me break that down. Okay, so like I was saying, a child that was constantly ignored, dismissed, your feelings were not validated, so you learn to add some intensity to that. So you throw tantrums or you break everywhere, and because of that your mom is going to say, okay, you get whatever you want, and so you move your life that way. That is how you have to do the extreme to get attention, to get things out of people. Then the environments where you had to read deeply into situations to feel secure. You had inconsistent love. Inconsistent love will now create you to be hyper focused on emotional signals. So if you're with somebody, um, or let's continue, guys. don't know if the devil is trying me with this thing that is going on with my phone or what. So what happens is when you have all these symptoms that we mentioned earlier, what happens is you over rely on feelings. You struggle with neutral interpretation. So if you're not emotionally moved by something, or if something has this emotional hold on you, you don't tend to see the other side, because it is actually your emotions that control you. It's the way you feel about something that actually controls how you react to that thing, right? Now, it's like you seek control through emotional reactions. So those tantrums you used to throw as a child that got you what you wanted, you notice that as an adult you might not be showing it the way a child would throw it, but you actually find out that you actually throw tantrums. You're an adult that throws tantrums. You're an adult that, if you know, if people don't do A, B, and Z to you, you do this, and you're not doing those things because that is your actual reaction. You're doing it to provoke some form of reaction from the next person, which is unhealthy. Because what's going to happen is that person is not going to give you the reaction that, when the person realizes this cycle and doesn't give you the reaction that you want, you are going to spiral, because it's like you question everything. You question everything. It's less about being toxic and more about being conditioned for survival in the wrong environment. This can look like things like mood swings. The tantrums can look like mood swings, impulsivity, or emotional dysregulation. You can't regulate yourself. So you find out, like, people that hit their spouse, there are women that hit men, there are men that hit women. This is often their problem. They are moved more by their emotions. They lack critical thinking skills because of that. That was how their childhood looked. Like I told you, they had to do extreme things to get attention as a child. So that translates to their adulthood, right? You can manage this actually. You can manage it. If you find out that this is who you are, you can manage this. You can be free of this. You can become somebody that is in charge of your emotions. You can become somebody that is in charge of emotions. You can do this by being aware. So first of all, you have to be aware. It's an emotional dependency, as you said, that creates a burden and makes you seem as a liability in relationship. But this is gotten from genes from a parent. Really? Like we don't have control over it? It's an emotional dependency, as you said, that creates a burden. Wow, I'm hearing this for the first time. I'm literally hearing this for the first time. Let me Google it. Let me Google. You said dependent personality traits. Dependent personality traits involve a deep-seated excessive need to be cared for, resulting in submissive, clingy, and fearful behavior. Individuals often lack self-confidence, struggle with daily decision making, and fear abandonment, leading to high tolerance for poor treatment. Treatment often involves psychotherapy to build autonomy. Wow, this is actually real. It's an actual disorder. I'm seeing it here. I'm seeing it here. It's actually, there is like actual treatment for it. It's DPD, dependent personality disorder. Um, that is insane. I'm actually seeing it for the first time, for real, for real. Anxious personality disorder. People with DPD often feel helpless, submissive, and incapable of taking care of themselves. They may have trouble making simple decisions. The condition is treatable with psychotherapy. Oh, so therapy can fix it, but it's a mental health condition. And it's actually really close to bipolar, but it's not bipolar. Wow, I'm hearing it, and I'm hearing this, and I'm seeing it for the first time. For real, for real. I'm hearing it and I'm seeing it for the first time. I mean, we learn every day. DPD. I'm going to look more into that when I get off, so that we'll talk about it next. Michelle, organize party for yourself. What are we going to be doing the party for? What is the party? We're just doing party. What are we going to do? You guys should not even forget that we have live trading with Ola on Monday. Not on Monday, but on May 1st. That's next week. So you guys should come ready with your demo accounts. Why are you laughing? I'm genuinely interested in what you're saying. What's the party going to be about? You know me, I'm a new streamer. Yeah, I not made you moderator. I'm going to make you moderator since so. So we have a moderator now. Freezy is our moderator. I said when I get to 500 subs that I was going to make you a moderator. Did I reach 500 subs? We're nowhere to be found. But I do know that all these personality disorders, all these things like BPD, DPD, like this one that you just told me about, some of them can actually be treated with supplements. There's some supplements that I actually looked into, because most times it could, I know that you said it could come from a hormone of one of the parents, but it could also be your hormones. It could be sort of like I read about. Better. It could also be your hormones acting up and raging. So let me just give you guys some supplements that could help that I researched on. Um, they are mostly managed, not really treated in case of supplements, right? Managed. That's what I'm saying. If sometimes it could be your hormones. So if your hormones are balanced, you notice that some of the symptoms will cease for you personally. So if you're able to manage your hormones, first of all, if you're able to have access to therapy, do that, because we saw that psychotherapy helps. Psychotherapy will help you to actually regulate your emotions and help you to it helps you hold yourself accountable. You can journal, so buy a journal and try to write things more before you act, or before if something pops into your head, try to write it down first and make sense of it. If ideas or situations, you're thinking this person is doing this, you're thinking another person is doing this, you just think you're making up situations, put it down on paper before you tell yourself, let me write it down before I act on it. The good thing now is that we have the notes app on our phone, so that could help. But if you're able to put it down before acting on it, that could help. So journaling helps with this, because journaling is going to help you separate facts from your feelings. You notice that when you put something down, you read it again, you're like, never mind, this is probably not what I think it is. You understand? So writing things down before you act on it helps, right? Journaling also helps you catch your patterns. Do you react this way at certain times of the day, or at certain weeks, at certain months of the year, all those things? So journaling will help you catch your patterns and then slow down your reactions, right? So let me give you guys the treatment so that I'll get going. Hi Kito, sorry, you not say now that I'm ignoring you. I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to type. I'm trying to answer questions. Have like a video battery. The supplements to be used is ashwagandha. There's ashwagandha. There's L-theanine. So L, then TEANINE 9. So L-theanine, and then there's magnesium glycinate. So these three supplements help if you're able to get ashwagandha, the magnesium glycinate, and the L-theanine. It helps very well for the conditions. And then if you're able to get therapy, and if you're able to buy a journal, that also helps really well. Okay, so I'm going to close with this. I wrote a closing remark, and I'm going to close properly. I want you to know that this realization, maybe if you've realized that you're this person, just know that this realization is uncomfortable, but it's powerful. It means that you're not stuck. You're not just emotional. You actually have control, because you've realized this about yourself, so you can actually have control over it. To anyone that is just realizing this, don't spiral into shame, because shame is going to keep the cycle alive. Okay, just put in some discipline with your awareness. Don't just tell yourself, okay, I'm aware of this. Put some discipline, put some things in place, do something. Get the, if you can get the therapy, cool. If you can't, get the supplements. Just try. But it doesn't mean that you are too much. You are not, you were just mismanaging something powerful, because some people actually don't are not in touch with their emotions. So if you're somebody that's in touch with your emotions, that's actually something powerful. You just need to redirect it. Okay, so once you learn to regulate it, instead of letting it lead you, instead of letting it decide how you treat people, instead of letting it take you so far, regulate it. Don't lose yourself, because if you keep pleasing people, if you keep living your life to please people 1,000%, you're gonna lose yourself. And instead, try and become someone people are actually safe with, which is you're somebody that is okay with people being who they are, and you being who you are, and then you become safe. You know those people that when you're around them, everything is safe. You don't feel judged. You don't feel overly anything. That's the person we all should aspire to be. So you can be this person instead of being a people pleaser and a manipulator, by doing everything that we said on this live. Thank you so much for joining the live, guys. I've got to go. I have a really low battery now, but I'm going to try and come live on Sunday. That's tomorrow. If not, I'll see you guys on Monday. Okay, bye guys.